Hello, everyone. Welcome to our informational community meeting about the upcoming summer teen program for 2023. My name is Austin Kennedy, and I'm going to kind of guide you guys through some information today that walks through all of our different tracks within the education summer teen program here as well. And at the very end, I will leave you with a slide that has all of my contact information so you guys can reach out and ask more questions. The point of this informational video today is to allow our community an opportunity to learn a little bit more about our very robust teen program here at Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, to see if it might be the right fit for you guys as a family to have your teenager join our summer programming for 2023. So our applications will open February 1st. We are in the process of getting all kinds of information out to the community before applications open. So welcome, and I'm glad you're here. So like I mentioned, my name is Austin Kennedy. I've actually been at Cheyenne Mountain Zoo in this role since 2014. So this upcoming summer will actually be my 9th summer working the teen program. You guys can see on the screen a couple different certifications and things like that. But my background really is outdoor education. So I focused on how do I mentor and guide young adults to really find connections with the wild world and the natural world that surrounds us. So of course, in those wild places that we have in our communities and worldwide, those are the places that wild animals call home. So it's a nice mixture of wild animals and wild places, which is a part of our mission statement here. And that's what I do in terms of education at Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. So Russell Friedman is our teen education specialist, or our lead teen mentor. So he's worked with me in the teen program for almost 5 years now. And he specifically is the person that really focuses on the day-to-day aspects of our teen program. So my role is kind of the big picture piece behind the scenes, whereas Russell is up front, and he is the person that is kind of the face of the program for the summer season. You can see, of course, some of his certifications as well, but Russell has been a tremendous asset to our teen community and our zoo here at Cheyenne Mountain Zoo for the last 5 years. I also wanted to introduce you guys to Stacy Graham. Stacy is our Director of Adventure Programs here at Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. So she is the director of all of the teen program, as well as all of our overnights and summer camps and things like that as well. So you guys might see her kind of in and out of the office, or helping check in teenagers at orientations and things like that. She tries to have as much of a presence as possible with her very large responsibilities in her job. So again, welcome. Now that we have some introductions out of the way, welcome. I will try to keep this fairly brief for all of you guys, while also trying to explain how robust our programming is. But I'm going to kind of breeze through it. Feel free to reach out with any further questions that you have beyond this, and we can work on an individual basis. So here are some of the things I'm going to go over today. So we already introduced our teen program staff. We'll talk a little bit about our philosophies when it comes to education. What is this program all about, and who gets to be a part of it? We'll talk about what we offer outside of the summer season for our other year-round opportunities. We'll talk through the application process, since that's what's coming up, our adventure trips, as well as what it takes to be a part of the program if accepted through the application process when it comes to tuition, paperwork, things like that. So the vision of Cheyenne Mountain Zoo's teen program is pretty simple, and that we hope to immerse youth in the belief that they can follow any passion in life that they want and still be active stewards of the environment. Our goal is not to clone mini zookeepers. We need people in all walks of life, in all careers, to be environmental stewards. Otherwise, we won't get very far. So we're hoping to have a really diverse group of teenagers join us at Cheyenne Mountain Zoo to learn what it takes to be a steward of the environment, to build those connections to wildlife and wild places, so that no matter where they go beyond the zoo, they have a passion for protecting it. We also hope to introduce lifelong passions that tie youth directly to wildlife and wild places. So we'll talk a little bit more about how we do that, but a lot of it is through our workshops, our adventure trips that are off grounds and international, and really just give them an opportunity to find that connection to nature. We do a really good job of connecting teens to our local community here within our zoo family at Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. Part of that is through our older teenagers or high schoolers actually get to work with our keeper staff. So they're actually working with a separate, smaller team within the education team. But then also, if we have teenagers that are really interested in marketing or photography, we do our best to try to set you guys up for a little networking opportunity with some of our marketing team as well. So we try to focus on introducing you guys to our zoo family members that have the same background that you guys are interested in for your future. We also try to inspire teenagers to make changes now and then offer them a platform to be stewards. So if we have teenagers that are really interested in pollinators and they want to create an entire awareness day with stations and tables and educational opportunities to teach our guests as they walk through the zoo about pollinators, our job as mentors in this program is to make sure that you guys have that platform to be able to pursue the passions that you guys have, knowing that those are going to change all the time. And we hope that we can be a part of that pathway to reach those passions. So now we're going to talk a little bit about kind of the nitty gritty of what it takes to be a part of our program. So I'm going to go, we have 3 different sections of our teen programming for summer, and I'm going to talk through all of those individually. So this first group here is for our high schoolers. So this is returning high school students that have already been a part of our program before. Our teen leader crew usually is anywhere between about 10 to 14 teenagers that are all high schoolers. They do take a leading role when it comes to our summer programming. They're acting as peer mentors and peer role models for all of our younger middle school teenagers. They help with interpretation, public speaking, leadership training. Not only do they get an opportunity to learn that from us and be mentored by staff members in all of those categories, but then part of their job is to relay that information and to put it into action right away with our middle schoolers as well. So it's kind of leadership training in real time throughout the summer. So they do help out both myself and Russell when it comes to creating curriculums for our programming and hosting fun icebreakers and planning social events for teenagers to get to know each other, to also checking in on teens and making sure that everyone is enjoying their experience here. We really do focus on a community, and they are the culture drivers of our teen program here as our teen leader crew. So it is a big responsibility, and it's also one of the most rewarding opportunities in the teen program. They have all kinds of special tasks as well that might be handed out on a day-to-day, but it's a really wonderful opportunity for teenagers who are interested in more of the education side and the leadership side of things, or just working, hoping to learn a little bit more about all of those categories. So our next high school opportunity is for any high schooler, whether you are new or returning to the zoo program. You must be entering 9th grade in the fall in order to apply to one of our high school programs. This is by far our most competitive program. So we only take about 1/3 of the applicants that come in because we only have enough room for the amount of teenagers that we have animal areas for. So we on any given summer have between 10 to 12 animal areas that are available for junior zookeepers to work in. And so our junior zookeepers are the ones that are working pretty much one-on-one with our zookeeper teams. So they are assigned to an animal area that they will be with for the duration of their experience over the summertime. So they get to know the keeper staff and the animals really, really well, which is very beneficial. This is essentially a day in the life as a zookeeper for 3 months. So teenagers really get to see how much hard work and physical and manual labor goes into being a zookeeper. They get to understand a little bit about the compassionate side and the humane education side when it comes to working with animals. Because of course we work with animals that come and go, and it's a really wonderful opportunity for teenagers to learn more about empathy while also really keeping their hands busy, because there's a lot to be done when you're working with live animals. So they do get a lot of the keeper time. They get to focus on animal husbandry, so taking care of the day-to-day welfare of our animals, which includes enrichment, which is mental or physical stimulation for all of our animals as well. They get to be creative, artistic. They also really get to focus on giving the animals the best life that they can, but that can take a lot of work for us to do. So they get to be a part of that incredibly rewarding team. They also primarily work behind the scenes. So they are working as a part of our keeper team with interns, adult volunteers, all of the above. These teenagers really get an opportunity to see what is it like to be a behind the scenes zookeeper. So again, just keep in mind that this is one of our most competitive programs. Some of our areas are favored to give to returning teenagers, and all of that is posted on the teen website. So feel free to check out online. It'll give you a really good rundown of what each of those animal areas entails in terms of physical workload, as well as what that area looks like and what animals are in there. So we highly encourage our high schoolers to look through the website to learn about the animal areas before you apply to be a part of one of those. Okay, so moving on to the largest chunk of our programming, which is our Zoo Crew, which is middle school program. So anyone going into 6th grade, 7th grade, or 8th grade for the upcoming 2023 fall season are allowed to apply for this summer program. So like I said, this is our largest program. We can take anywhere between 40 and 50 teenagers. It really depends on our capacity of staff, as well as other education programs being run over the summertime. These groups participate in public speaking and interpretation through some of our conservation education stations. So realistically, what our teenagers do here is they go through public speaking and leadership training, as well as how do we interpret the messages that we want to share with our guests in a way that's understandable to a 5-year-old and an 85-year-old in the same group. So they do a ton of public speaking. We focus a lot on building their confidence through that public speaking leadership, as well as just knowledge and confidence that way. So these kids usually set up different stations all over the zoo that talk about the conservation messages in the animals that we have here in-house. They engage with our guests day after day and really help educate them and connect them to the wild animals that we have here and to their wild counterparts out in the big wide world. So these guys also get to do some behind the scenes. So they will have opportunities. We lead behind the scenes tours that help not only educate them about those animals in the moment, but also gives them an idea of what areas they might want to work in as they grow older and age into the high school junior zookeeper program, or even the teen leader program. There is animal area opportunities for our middle schoolers as well. Our domestic goat yard is open to all middle schoolers. And then through another separate application process, after you have completed one full season with us, then those middle schoolers are allowed to apply to work in our loft or our big backyard area. But that is not an opportunity on your very first summer season that you will be allowed to do. You do have to complete one full season before you can apply there. There's also a really wonderful opportunity, which is a lot of our zoo crew's favorite, is working with our summer camps. They get to be a part of our summer camp crew and work directly with our camp mentors and guides, as well as getting to learn about some group management and being empathetic with some of our younger campers. They get to learn a lot of skills on the personal and professional side of things when it comes to working with our younger kiddos and helping assist our camp staff. So here's just a list of all of the animal areas that our junior zookeepers are able to be a part of. I'm not going to hang on this slide because this information is online as well, but feel free to reach out with any questions you might have as well. So we do have off-season programming. We do run programming here 365 days a year for anyone that's been accepted into an animal area. We also run opportunities on the weekends and evenings during the school year for workshops and further education opportunities. And that's through our Teen Core programs, which I'll talk more about. We only accept new teens in our winter season and our summer season because it does take a lot to get them oriented, as well as the training process happens twice a year versus 4 times a year. So our winter season is a little bit less competitive than our summer season. But if you are really busy in the summertime, but you still want to participate in the zoo program, winter opportunity might be a good one for you. So our Teen Core program, that is for all teenagers that are part of any zoo program here within the teen program. But it also is our biggest program for anyone who's not accepted into an animal area for any given season. This is where we offer field trips, workshops on the weekends and after hours. We offer social events, all kinds of trainings throughout that season to allow teenagers to work on their skills that then they can hopefully apply to their application when they reapply to an animal area in the future. We do go on a ton of field trips in our off season as well. Sometimes that is to local animal shelters, areas, zoos, rehab facilities here within Colorado Springs. We also go beyond that and go to kind of the greater Colorado area. We also travel international, which we'll talk about as well. We do focus a little bit more on individual learning time during the off season, as myself and Russell are usually the ones teaching majority of those programs. So it's a little bit more FaceTime and mentorship with zoo staff during the off season opportunities. One of the big questions that we get is what does the schedule look like when it comes to signing up for shifts? So as you can see here, we are a first come, first serve for fairness in a large program. This is actually you'll see that photo in the bottom right there, and that is actually a screenshot for what our interview process looks like. But this is the same process that it is for signing up for shifts. So you're actually able to see everything in your animal area if you're assigned to an animal area. And you get to pick and choose what days, what times you show up to the zoo, as long as there's a spot available for that. So we try to make it as easy as possible and allow for a lot of flexibility, knowing that teenagers are very busy and families are very busy. So we try to make it really convenient for you, which means you get to pull up your website at home. This is all through a online registration software called Sign Up Genius that is free for all of you to use. All you have to do is create an account, and then you can pick and choose what shifts to sign up for from home, which is really nice. So it fits in your schedule. Some of the opportunities for things that you can sign up for in the summertime are stations, which is going to be that opportunity to educate the guests out in the zoo. We do have nature crew that helps do trail maintenance and fire mitigation, invasive plant species removal on the back 40 acres of Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. We have outdoor classrooms out there. We have a trail system out there, and it is only accessible to zoo staff members and private programs, which means this is not a public area for zoo guests to venture to. So we have our teenagers as a part of nature crew really help us keep and maintain a really wonderful trail system out there that is safe for our 5-year-old campers, as well as our 15-year-old high schoolers. So we have different sessions in terms of workshops, things that you can sign up for that are more curriculum based and a little bit more kind of narrowly focused on one subject for that session. If you're accepted into Loft or Big Backyard, you're able to sign up for those through the sign up system as well. The Goat Yard, which is our domestic goats, and then our junior zookeepers and teen leaders all sign up using this same software here as well. One thing that I do want to mention is there is an even larger opportunity for teenagers to get involved a little bit more in conservation. So our Youth Leadership Action Board is a group of 8 to 12 students that essentially act as a student council for the teen program. So they help me and Russell and the teen program uphold the mission and vision of Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, as well as the education department, as well as the teen program as well. So we meet once a month to discuss different conservation efforts within the zoo. They help plan special events. They run an annual national conference in July. They're also some of our action leaders in the community. So they go out into the community and they act on environmental stewardism, and they're helping work with local businesses to be more conservation minded in their practices, their business practices. We also travel with this group as well on specific conservation trips around the nation. This is a application-based program, and we open this after our summer season. So usually we open applications in August, and then you are committed to a year of working as a part of our Youth Leadership Action Board once a month. This does not mean you have to be a part of off-season programming, but you do have to complete one session within the teen program in order to be eligible to apply. So the other thing that I'll talk about is field trips, or what we call adventure trips. These are an extra cost from the tuition that you will be paying to be a part of the program. That's because we cannot provide these to every single teenager. So, and then we contract out and we pay guides and educators to run some of these trips that we don't have the capacity to do. So these are a first come, first serve opportunity for trips. We also really love when we have trips that we can offer family involvement for. We will let you know which trips we are able to invite family members on. Usually it's some of our bigger trips, like a whitewater rafting style trip. We try to bring family members on those as well. We do offer international trips. This is not a family-oriented trip. This is actually just for our high schoolers and middle schoolers. But we do travel around the nation and around the world, hosting conservation projects all over the place and educating and mentoring the teenagers in our program through some of that experiential education opportunities abroad. So just some fun photos of some of the things. You can see some of our kiddos out climbing in Red Rocks Canyon or Red Rocks open space. We take the kids up to Rampart Reservoir for a big canoeing, kayaking, stand-up paddleboarding trip, and we get to spend a couple days on the water. We go to places like the Gabriel Foundation, which is a pet and parrot rescue. So really it's primarily focused on birds, but the kids get an opportunity to learn a little bit about why some species are rejected from owners after a couple of years when they don't realize the amount of care that goes into it. So we get to help with enrichment and build different help with building enclosures and things like that for other organizations to give back to the community who is trying to give back to the animal world as well. We also have some pretty incredible days that we run here on zoo grounds, including International Mud Day, which is celebrated worldwide. And as you can see here, we spend a lot of time playing in the mud on those days. And it's a really fun opportunity for kids just to kind of let their guard down and get back to the roots of being a kid and playing in mud. We also do some really science-based and STEM-based programming. We do go out bird banding almost every year as well, and we'll net birds. We'll band them and record them and then send them back out. We do go with a certified and licensed bird bander over near Venatucci Farms. We offer a lot of opportunities for kids to build their confidence through skills and really working with their hands. So we focus on fire starting and survival skills so that teenagers have an opportunity to feel proud of what they've accomplished. And we also do watershed research programs. And like I said, we also go whitewater rafting. So there's a lot of opportunities to really connect kids to the natural world. We believe if we want them to stand up for the natural world, they need to have a firsthand experience of it and really find a connection to the world if they are willing to stand up and build a passion for it. International travel, this is one of our more recent trips to Costa Rica. So in Central America, we take kids international. Our upcoming trip, we are hoping to go to the Galapagos Islands. So that should hopefully be an opportunity moving forward. We're in the planning process of all of that, but this is one of the things that we are most well known for is our really incredible conservation and international travel program within the teen program. So let's talk a little bit about the application and interview process here. So the application, there is an application fee online, and that is where you'll go to CheyenneMountainZoo.org or cmz.org, and you'll find the teen program application. You'll pay that fee, and then you'll get an automatically generated email that responds to you and has a link for you to apply. There is a high school application as well as a middle school application. So just make sure that you fill out the appropriate one. Once that is submitted, we will process all of those applications and then we'll reach out to you no matter what. We will never leave you hanging. So we'll let you know whether or not you've been accepted for an interview or if we've decided to move further with other candidates. We do our very best to try to interview as many kids as possible, but in the past, there are 2 of us that interview roughly 300 teenagers. We are always wanting to help our teenagers and young kiddos improve on their applications and their interview skills. Please reach out to us if you're interested in feedback if your child does not get accepted, and know that we are doing our very best to make sure that this program is as fair and inclusive as possible when it comes to the application and interview process. Our application process is based off of a point system. So we will go through and read everyone's applications and we score each question accordingly. Those with the lowest scores, unfortunately, do not move into the interview round. When we get to the interview round, we're really figuring out and trying to decide whether or not you might be a good fit for the program, but also if we're a good fit for you and what you're hoping to learn and what you share with us that your expectations are for the program. So we're really just trying to find the best match. Those applications are open from February 1st until February 14th of 2023, and you'll find those online. You do have to have your application submitted by midnight on February 14th, or it will not be considered. So please keep that in mind as you go through the payment process to pay your application fee. Make sure you do that sooner than later in case there is a lag time between paying and getting that email back sent to you. Once you're accepted into the program, we of course have waivers, emergency contacts, information that we need to collect. And then it is a tuition-based program. So we try to make that very clear that because we are a break-even budget within our department, the teen program does have a tuition, and all of that goes straight back into the teen program. We are not a profit building organization, nor is our education department. So at the end of the year, all of our money goes back into creating programs for the following year. So please keep in mind, this is not a volunteer-based program. This runs more and operates like a small mini internship for young professionals within the greater Colorado Springs area. So here's our prices moving forward. You can see what all of our tuition, what your tuition money goes towards. All of our prices will be going up for starting in the winter of 2023 to 2024. So we do have scholarships that are available, but we do have limited funding that changes year to year depending on donors and grants from outside organizations. But you can absolutely apply for those. But you can see here what all of the tuition ends up including throughout your time frame. So that's all the information that we have for you. We wanted to give you guys a jumping off point in terms of the application process, when that starts, what you're getting into, and what all of that looks like from start to finish. So if you have any questions, please feel free to let us know. Of course, this is virtual, so you do not have to worry about exiting the Zoom at this time. You'll go ahead and exit your screen when you're all done here. My email address is right up above there. You can respond or you can reach out to us on teenprograms@cmzoo.org. Both myself and Russell Friedman respond to all email inquiries that come through there. So thank you so much. Please reach out to us if you have any questions. Otherwise, we hope to see applications from all of you guys moving forward. Thank you so much.